Hello everyone, this is Haxaclappa and welcome to another video. As you guys have all known, version 8.9 came out with strike aircrafts, and today I will start off by reviewing the brand new A-10A Warthog. So there might be some confusion, but the A-10A Black Snake is virtually identical to the normal A-10. There are only a few differences. The first one is that one of them is premium, which means that it costs Robux and it has better reward stats. Also, it has its own special skin, which you can see on the loading screen right there. But lastly is that the modifications are dirt cheap, so you can basically get them all with the 500 medals that come free with the plane. Now let's take a look at some of the ground ordnance that comes with it. It's equipable with 200, 500, 1,000, and 2,000 pound bombs, as well as the Hydra rockets. However, what you'll probably be using the most if you're like me are the AIM-9L missiles. You get 4 of them, and they're actually quite nice this patch. So you guys should probably just use loadout 7. It has 6,000 pounds of bombs and plenty of rockets. Now, for those of you who want to see how this plane is supposed to be used, you're not going to see much of ground pounding on this channel. I'm mostly air-to-air. But as you see here, here's just a quick clip to satisfy your urges. You just want to put one bomb into each corner. And also, the rockets don't do as much damage, so you're going to have to spray a little more. Now, let's discuss the flight performance, starting off with the turn rate. This is the A-10's turn chart, and it's quite competitive with the rest of the planes. In a second, this is the comparison with other planes, and as you see, the only times when it's beaten is by the MiG and Mirage at low speed. Your turn curve is great, but you're slow, so you're not gonna ever hit the advertised 29 degrees per second. However, just look at this. That is the MiG at optimal speed, and the A-10 easily turns into it. This is a combination of two things. First off, the turn curve is a lot better. And second, the A-10 is slow. That MiG might be slow, but he's turning at about 22 degrees, and I was turning about 25 degrees per second. So I'm easily able to cut into anything. When this plane first came out, it wasn't able to take advantage of that because the energy retention was complete garbage. You could not pull vertical maneuvers. If this was earlier, I would be at around like 450 now. But as you see, I'm still at around 500. And when pulling horizontally, I don't lose as much speed, which allows me to fully take advantage of this. But as you see, what I'm doing here is that I'm always going down, except when I know I have a shot. Because when you go up, you are going to bleed your speed, and you're going to kill your turn. The turn only increases as your speed increases, so being at low speed is basically a death sentence. So you might ask, what does this do in public sessions, right? Well, what it does is basically you can dogfight any plane except maybe the Mirage, because that thing has a pretty good turn curve too. You're going to have to set up your turn. Another thing is that you'll be able to pull guns on first in any one circle fight, and even the 2 circle fights. Not to mention, the improved energy retention also allows you to go slightly vertical, at least long enough for you to fire off your AIM-9L sidewinders. But at the end of the day, the energy buff to this plane just allows you to survive a little longer. You're not going to die after turning for one guy. At least it will make it a little harder to kill you. So, how do you want to fly this plane? You don't want to be on the deck. You always want some altitude. And you also never want to be going up or pitching up for someone, because that will completely destroy your turn. Maybe hang around at about 1,000 meters so that you can constantly go down like what I'm doing. It also allows you to maintain a constant rate of about 21 degrees per second, which is quite respectable because Phantoms and Jaguars and F1s and basically everything else struggles to maintain that rate speed. But the A-10 is still very slow, so if you get into a dogfight with someone, people are going to get the jump on you and they are going to kill you. You are going to die in this plane because of how slow it is. You cannot run away. You cannot play energy. You can't dodge their guns. If there's another guy, you are dead, and that's the part of this plane that you have to accept.
Next up, let's take a look at the A-10's weapons. And as always, you cannot do an A-10 review without mentioning the yes, the reassuring sound of 30mm rounds of pure freedom being sent to the enemy at 3,900 rounds per minute. But let's be honest, the GAU-8 Avenger is probably the best cannon in the entire game. Not only does it fire at 3,900 rounds per minute, the gun also has an eye-watering velocity of 1010 meters per second. There's one small issue though, which is that the gun just simply lacks any tracers, which will make it hard to get used to and will make aiming pretty wonky. But you'll need to get used to this gun, because you're a sitting duck if you let the enemy get past the head-on. Another one of the A-10's strengths are its 4 A-9L missiles. These are the best missiles in the game as they are all aspect and have 40 Gs of pull. And the A-10 gets 4 of them. Previously that was the Jaguar, which had 2, but this one has 4. It's not just the G pull and the all-aspect capabilities that make these missiles good. They have a very small seeker cone and the highest flare resistance value in the game, so they ignore flare. Also, this update, yeah, they can do stuff like this. They also cut through flares if the enemy has their afterburner on. So if they're like a F4 or an F104, they will get killed by these. And lastly, we have the Hydra rockets. Now, what you would usually do is just fire at ground targets at these, and they're pretty good at doing that. You have to spam quite a bit, but I prefer using these as air-to-air weapons, which actually works out quite well in the head-ons. They have quite some range and you can spam a few, and the hitboxes aren't that small, so it's actually quite effective in the head-on. Just remember that it is about as useless if they are maneuvering, so good luck hitting a maneuvering target from long range. Overall, they're a pretty trolly weapon. If you actually want to put these to good use, you might as well ground pound with it, but they're quite fun.
Now, I am just going to give my overall thoughts on this plane. The A-10 has quite some strengths, but it's also hampered by some severe downsides. Its weakness is just that it's slow, so you won't be able to dodge people and you won't be able to run away. However, the turn is quite competitive and the energy isn't that bad. Not to mention, it has 4 very good missiles and a decent payload of bombs if that's what you're into. I wouldn't bomb personally, especially after they nerf the rewards for that. So as you see right now, what you saw in this clip, it was about 3 coins. Now it is just 1 or 2 depending on server size. So I wouldn't bomb personally. But the missiles, guns, and the general flight performance is able to catch people off guard. You are bricky, but not that bricky.
Just don't expect to carry it any games, because it really can't. Try to have fun, try to troll with the rockets, and get those occasional missile kills. It's going to work out, probably, if you just keep your expectations low. Anyways, the choice is yours. You can play it as a bomb truck or a missile bus.
So yeah, that is the brand new A-10A and A-10A Blacksnake. It has pretty good flight performance, but it is slow, so you'll be at the mercy of your opponents, not the other way around.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching my video.